The LSU basketball team was the Tigers out-rebounded Kentucky on Tuesday night, but the Wildcats shot 74% in the second half and made 7 of 8 three-pointers in the final 20 minutes to score 79 points and beat LSU by 3. Tigers came back late in the game to fall 79-76. Will Wade, following last night in his post-game press conference, gives credit to Big Blue.
Give Kentucky credit. I thought that, he usually comes in and kind of runs all his pin downs and all that stuff. We were hoping he was going to run all that because we can guard that. And then second half, he just said, to hell with that. We're just going to spread him and drive him and get the he ran all his over-under stuff, got the mismatch, and then brought the high ball screen out there and just drove the hell out of us to the front of the rim, which was very, very smart. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
This was an answer last night that I think epitomizes the night for Wade and the Tigers.
Said that the same guy keeps making the same mistake over and over. I guess, what are your options there? What
I
can
don't have any options. If I had options, I'd be playing other guys. I don't have other. We're playing who we have to play. Those guys have to get it fixed. I've tried. We've exhausted all options.
Yeah, Brody Miller, you idiot, on the question there. Yeah, there's a lot that's kind of surprising about yesterday's game, yesterday's box score. It wasn't an effort issue. You out-rebounded Kentucky significantly. You tied your season high for offensive rebounds. You got 10 more boards offensively than they did. You got to the line more. You made more at the line, and we thought those were going to be the keys. But, again, your perimeter defense fails you. And I know that 7 of 8 in the second half for a team like Kentucky that averages less than 5 threes made per game. I know that feels like a statistical anomaly, Jordy, and a bit it is. But when you look at LSU, and the fact that they rank in the 200s in defending the three-point shot, then you just got to call it what it is. The defense failed you there.
Late turnovers last night were costly as well for Wade and LSU. Here was Coach Wade talking about giving the ball away, the turnovers.
Yeah, it hurt us. We should have, we had a 4-point lead and go in down 1. A couple of the turnovers, I was trying to call timeout, and I couldn't get the timeout in before we turned the ball over.
Nate Sestina from Kentucky, a transfer forward, hadn't made a three-pointer in the month of February. He had 3 last night. He was 3 of 4 from the floor in 26 minutes of action. He had 15 points. We'll talk more about it coming up here on OTB as LSU, Will Wade, and the Tigers fall last night to Kentucky. They'll be on the road for the next 2 games. They're at South Carolina on Saturday before traveling to Florida on February 26th. They'll be home February 29th against Texas A&M. Well, they will retire Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf's number 35. LSU baseball, after a slow start, the Tigers used 3 home runs to pull away from Southern and take an 8-3 advantage and an 8-3 win over the Jaguars. Tuesday night at the box, Skip Bertman Field, designated hitter Saul Garza led the Tigers offense by going 3 of 4 at the plate with a homer. He also had 4 ribbies. Second baseman Gavin Dugas and pinch hitter Hayden Travinsky added solo home runs, and first baseman Cade Beloso had a triple that knocked in a couple. Here was nobody speaking after that game last night. LSU on the road tonight for a midweek matchup. They'll face Nichols at Raymond Didier Field down in Thibodaux. Some football news for you yesterday. The New Orleans Saints quarterback and the NFL's career passing leader Drew Brees will make his return for the 20th season after posting an Instagram post on Tuesday afternoon telling the Who Dat Nation they're going to make another run at it. Brees,
let's go,
who turned 41 in January, was scheduled to become an unrestricted free agent on March 18th, but has made it clear for the past several years that he has no interest in testing the open market. The two sides will need to work out a contract. The last time Brees was a free agent was back in 2018, where he agreed to a 2-year contract worth $50 million, which was slightly below market value, with only one of those years salary guaranteed. Last year, he was the 10th highest paid quarterback in the league at $25 million.
Yeah, I mean, people are still thinking that Brees is like putting the Saints in a tough spot with his contracts. He's really not. He's taken well below market value. And we'll talk about it more, Yordy, but this is great news that Drew Brees is coming back here.
Adam Schefter was talking about Brees coming back and what it means for Taysom Hill.
Now, Taysom Hill does not have a clear path to the Saints starting quarterback job for the 2020 season. Now, we all know what New Orleans thinks of Taysom Hill long term, and Taysom Hill will be a restricted free agent this offseason. And so you'd have to think that he likely is to return to New Orleans as the backup to Breeze, as a successor in waiting. But again, we'll see whether another team decides to step forward and sign him to an offer sheet that could somehow pry him away from New Orleans.
Yeah, the thing is, the Saints control Taysom Hill's destiny, essentially, right? I mean, if they let him go, it'll be because they know that they're getting a first or second round pick in return. I know you love Taysom, and we'll get into it more, but my guy's 6-13 last year, right? Like, what are we talking about here? Okay, you're talking about Drew Brees, the man who became the NFL's all-time touchdown leader last year, all-time passing yards, NFC Offensive Player of the Month. You saw Cam Jordan on Twitter excited. You saw Kamara on Twitter excited. Mikey Thomas. This is great news for Saints fans, especially because when you look at all the contracts that are going to be up in the next couple of years, this is quite literally the final shot this year.
This is it?
I think this is it.
This is the one.
This is the one. I'm not saying this is Breeze last year, although there's a lot of feeling that that could be the case. But just in the terms of still having Kamara and Lattimore, Ramchick, and all these different guys you're going to have to figure out how to pay soon, this is the year.
Last three felt like it was the year. Thanks,
Yeah.
Drew.
Well, it almost was. Yeah.
Would love to hear you in the Monday Night Football booth next season.
The Nola no call. That was Breeze's fault. Sure.
He missed a slant, 2 side passes before that.
Well, actually, yeah, that is.
Daily, we're brought to you by The Well Theory. Remember, over at The Well Theory, if you use the promo code OTB30, you get 30% savings on all products on the website, including the surgeon-formulated CBD products, full line over there with Dr. Meredith Warner at thewelltheory.com. Reduce pain, improve sleep, help with anxiety. It's a powerful antioxidant. Remember, online at thewelltheory.com with the OTB promo code OTB30. LSU football, it's been announced that the LSU annual spring game on April 18th will be played at Southern University's campus at A.W. Mumford Stadium, while the field turf at Tiger Stadium is being replaced. LSU, the reigning national champs, open up their spring practice Saturday, March 7th. LSU will host its annual coaches clinic featuring keynote speaker, former Super Bowl MVP, Heisman Trophy winner Marcus Allen on March 12th and 13th. OTB, those are your headlines.